Hey everybody, JesseMorrell here in Canada, still with my family, enjoying the nice snow outside, and I'm going to be traveling back home to Texas soon. Actually, we're going to be stopping in Topeka, Kansas. I'm going to speak at a church there and do some evangelism training and an outreach to the university. Also going to be stopping in at Kansas City to visit some friends and fellowship. But I wanted to talk to you today about this topic of why every street preacher should YouTube and the advantage of YouTubing. Actually, some of you know I've been putting together an evangelism curriculum. I'm putting together a street preacher manual that I teach practical pointers and tips about street preaching and having a ministry, and if you want to go full-time, how you can do that and that sort of thing. So that's coming along well. But this was just a short little teaching I wanted to do to help the street preaching community and just to exhort you guys why I think every street preacher needs to YouTube. And the number one reason is that you expand your audience. You know, if I go out and I preach at the nightlife and I'm preaching, let's say, to a crowd going into the bar and there's like 30 people there, you know, so I'm preaching to about 30 people. But if I, record it on video and upload it to YouTube and then title it some catchy title that people are interested in, like Street Preacher, rebuke sinners outside of a bar or something that is going to generate some clicks, that audience, the initial audience of 30 ends up multiplying. Now through YouTube, you have 100 viewers, or even thousands of viewers. Some of my videos have tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of views, because there's lots of lost people on YouTube. So when you record your street preaching and upload it to YouTube, you're multiplying your audience, which means you're multiplying your impact for the kingdom of God. So every street preacher ought to YouTube, because we're in the business of reaching people with the gospel, and recording it and putting it on YouTube does that. You also automate your witness. This is number two, why you should every street preacher should YouTube. You automate your witness, meaning when you upload a video to YouTube, unless YouTube takes it down, you're going to continue to generate more and more views, which means you're going to reach more and more sinners. And so you actually end up witnessing while you're sleeping. You go to bed, you upload a video, and then you go to bed, and then in the morning it's got 100 views or 1,000 views or more views, so you're preaching while you're sleeping. And then that continues on for years and years, as long as it's on YouTube or, generating more clicks and more views. You're automating your witness. So it's just, again, not just multiplying your reach, but just it continues to have an ongoing effect, a wave effect. I remember sitting at a church in Gettysburg. We were having a conference during the 4th of July, and I was just checking my YouTube channel on my phone, and I saw some of my latest videos from Houston at a gay pride parade go viral. Like, it would have like 10,000 views, new views in just a few minutes, and I kept watching it climb up and up and up, and I'm sitting through one of the conference messages, listening to a presentation, and then by the end of the presentation, my video had tens of thousands of new views. I think it ended up peaking at like 60,000 or 70,000, just within like a day or 2 days. And I thought, this is amazing. I'm here just listening to a sermon. I'm not even preaching. I'm listening to a sermon. And yet, because of YouTube, I literally just preached to tens of thousands of people, 70,000 people. And of course, from all over the world. People that were interested in that video, I think, were the homosexuals. That must have, circulated amongst their discussion groups and Facebook groups and forums and email lists or whatever, because it's, we went to the Houston Gay Pride Parade, which was a big event, and some of them must have gotten a hold of the video and started sharing it, amongst them. And so I ended up multiplying my effort, reaching a lot more people, and doing it in a rather passive way, because like I said, you can witness while you sleep. So it becomes passive witnessing, which is great. Another reason, you just never know who's watching. I was at the mall the other day here in Winnipeg, Canada, and a man came up to me. He's actually a local pastor. He said, "Is your name Jesse?" And I said, "Yes, it is." And he said, "JesseMorrell?" And I said, "I'm the one." And he said, "The JesseMorrell?" And at that point, I felt a little awkward. I thought it was kind of silly, but I said, "Yes." And he said, "I watch you on YouTube. And I'm a local, preacher here. I'm a pastor, and I watch you on YouTube all the time. I've seen tons of your videos." And he was all excited. He asked for a selfie. He took a selfie with his phone because he said his friends wouldn't believe that I was in Winnipeg, Canada. And then what was interesting was how he recognized me. At first he said he saw me and he thought, oh, that looks kind of like Jesse. But then I said something to my son. He was doing something he shouldn't. I told him to stop it. And he said when he heard me say stop it, he said he knew that was me for sure. And so he came up to talk to me. So, here's a pastor in Winnipeg I've never met before. I've never been to his church. I've never preached to his church. But apparently he's seen a lot of my YouTube videos. So every street preacher needs to YouTube, because you just never know who's watching. You can have an impact in churches all over the place. I remember a friend of mine called me up on the phone. He was somewhere in the Midwest. He was joining a new church, and he called me up saying, hey, I just joined a new church, and there's some young people really into evangelism in this church, and they watch your videos. You inspired them to witness and to preach, and they're going out into the open air. Just some church I've never been to, some random new church he wanted to check out, and apparently they watch the YouTube video. So you just never know. And in fact, hey, if you're watching this video and you just leave a comment saying, where you live. I know that we have an international audience. I've had people in London tell me they started street preaching as a result of the videos, or Switzerland or Mexico. So leave a comment in this video of who you are, where you are, and how these videos have influenced your life. And hopefully that'll encourage other street preachers to get on YouTube. We're a growing movement. We need to continue to fight and to let our voices be heard in public, because we're fighting a culture of sin. We're a countercultural movement, really. Also, I got an email recently I wanted to read that was very encouraging. There's salvations I've seen through the YouTube videos. I've seen homosexuals come to Christ through the YouTube videos. I've seen atheists. I've seen drug dealers. I've seen Satanists. I've seen all types of people come to the Lord through open air preaching. And every once in a while, I get an email about someone who came to the Lord through the YouTube videos. But here is someone that our ministry blessed. He sent me an email. He was a sergeant. He said, "Thanks for all that you do." He said, "I'm a combat veteran who served in Iraq and Afghanistan. Upon returning, I was suffering from PTSD and TBI and a host of other injuries. I turned to pills from the VA hospital. When that didn't work, I went to weed and alcohol and became addicted. I searched for meaning of life everywhere, reading everything, but kept turning to the Bible when all else failed. God has blessed me so much, so I started studying even more, and I saw the truth. I stumbled upon your page on YouTube one day and have never stopped watching. You have taught me so much that would have taken me years to get caught up on. Mind you, I was never brought up in church. I grew up in the hood, such as yourself. My hood was the San Carlos Apache Reservation. But during Christmas, I finally decided to make the change for me and my family, and I'm going to start walking the path God wants. Also, thanks for the book, How to Refute Atheism and Evolution. That was a free email book I sent out to people. He said, thanks to the book, How to Refute Atheism and Evolution, as I'm in college, and it's everywhere, and I get in many debates. I can't believe how blind we all can be and how we have turned away from the truth. I just wanted to write this and to say thanks for what you do, and I believe you're making a change. Please continue to do what you do. You're an inspiration, and I'll be praying for you. I will also start donating to your cause at the beginning of the year. Praise Jesus. God bless. Thanks, Sergeant." And then I left his name out, but he's a sergeant. And so YouTube, another reason every street preacher should YouTube, is that we're able to meet new people and to network. Here's a guy who wants to start supporting our ministry. He was blessed by it, and now he wants to support it. I've had pastors who find the YouTube videos and then invite me to come out to where they were. I had a pastor in Windsor, Canada, and bring me out there once to preach after he found the YouTube videos. I had another brother in Los Angeles once fly me out there because he was blessed. And so as street preachers, we're able to network with contacts and supporters and other street preachers. I'm actually, after I get home from Texas, I'll be home for just a couple days, and then I'm flying to Philadelphia, and we're going to be preaching some campuses, I think, in the streets, and even going to the Washington, D.C. inauguration. But that's a brother who is pastoring out there, and he, again, found me originally through the YouTube videos. And so every street preacher needs to be on YouTube. At least that's my opinion and my encouragement, because you multiply your audience, you automate your witness, you make contacts, friends, and supporters, and preaching partners, and doors open up, and souls are going to be saved as well through the YouTube. There's a lot of sinners on YouTube who need the gospel. And so that's just my little 10-minute exhortation. Every street preacher needs to be on YouTube. I encourage all of you guys to start a YouTube channel. It's real easy. And if all you do is take like a 5-minute video of your street preaching on your phone and upload that to YouTube every time you go out, get a little 5-minute video. It doesn't have to be the whole thing, just a 5-minute video. That can make a huge difference. It can be a huge impact in the world. This is an opportunity we have for mass communication that no other generation before us had. That you can just upload videos to YouTube and have an international impact within seconds. So we, as preachers of the gospel, especially need to take advantage of the mass communication possibilities that are available to us that have never been available before. So leave a comment about who you are, where you are, and how you've been blessed by the videos, and God bless you guys.